On a lovely October afternoon, 5 students, each of a different tune, united in a common goal to put food in every student's bowl. They marched to the school board with a heavy accord and demanded new legislation within the administration. They wanted to supply free food, which puts everyone in a good mood, but the superintendent had other plans and denied them any cooking pans. So the 5, though different in thought, rarely ever fought. In a school plagued with misrule, the student's president was a tool. The superintendent's son had a passion. The big flirt had great fashion. The med student was a liar, and the hippie was an apple product buyer. The aspiring med student tended to be very imprudent. She gave advice, but at a high price. The student wanted free food so she could get more money accrued. The money would supply her candy habits. Her favorite was the chocolate rabbit. She gave the ill meds and always avoided the feds. So you better get a clue, because this news isn't new. She's just a middleman, and you're all a part of the game plan. She's always seemed to be helping, but real cause was very telling. She had a deal with death, that she could cause their last breath. She gave them their fix, and they never saw her tricks. They would pass slowly, and she would make away wholly, richer than she was before, but after she'd done her chore. The technology clerk was in pursuit of new things to learn, so for every new Apple product she would learn. But she never worked a day in her life, so financially she was in strife. Her only means to pay her way were to bleed from friends day to day, and spend the donations on Apple technology to use to her personal learning methodology. Although in her actions she was very polite, her tendency to mooch earned her much spite. So now it was the student body's president's approval she wanted to gain, to get more donations to ease her pain. She figured by putting food in everyone's bowl, she could make her technology stash full. Wisdom her virtue, sloth her sin. In the real world she had never been. So within her head her idle genius swirled, forever to be lost in her own world. Though she would spend her life in rags, she was content with only Apple products in her bags. The jubilant lad, so very dependent on the success of his father, the superintendent, from whom he obtained the student council post, a position quite envied by most. In school activities he was quite diverse, for many talents he could traverse. Many artistic pursuits were his passion, along with a keen eye for fashion, which was very flamboyant all in all, especially in his favorite scarf he wore in the fall. He often wrote in loving prose to his high school sweetheart Rose, whom he met through his work in theater drama when she admittedly told him he looked like Obama. She was a definite motive for his student council guest, and it was free food she loved the best. So for adventure and love he pursued what was right, free food for the school board's budget so very tight. There once was a student council president who was a proud resident. He lived in a mansion and wanted a larger pension. Angry by that fact, he got up to act, asking far and wide, lurking in the great divide. He saw some travelers who he thought were gravelers. He thought of some scheme that would challenge any regime. They wanted to give free food, even though they were rude. The president did not care and just wanted a good fare. The school board decided to pay, and the students shouted, "Hooray!" The president smiled with glee, since they all fell for his miscree. The woman was quite a flirt, and treated the men like dirt. She liked them only for their attention, but never wanted to be in submission. She flaunted her hair and took the care of every potential partner, from shoemaker to gardener. That is why, you see, she set a decree and joined the students' group, so every student would have a scoop of food, free of charge. However, she didn't care about the food, for she was too crude. In the group she fancied the men, and wanted nothing more than for them to lend their attention and time towards her, for this was her crime. It was a glorious trip, and everyone was in a skip. Their mission was a success, and faster than the Pony Express. They obtained free food for the entire brood. Everyone rejoiced as if they had a choice. They all became close friends and made each other's amends, and formed a profound bond that carried beyond. The 5 each got a medal because they chose to meddle. The superintendent forgave his son. For such good ideas he shall not shun. To there was a happy end.